That's fun. It's fun.
All right, so we're back from our break. I hope you all had a restful one filled with noms or drinks or whatever you had to do. To catch you up, the party has sort of selected its members, as two of them are variables before any of these adventures. We have a random, just average guy chef, and we have a berserker named Belt.
We love them both.
And that's gonna fill out our party of a pixie and a redcap.
I'm so proud of them.
So you will not get a full you will not get a full rest because it's not 8 hours before the dawn lifts, but you do have a short rest to do something if you need to. Otherwise, the party was split as Pearl, who has occupied the head case of Belt the Barbarian, is staying with the adventuring company that is bringing supplies to the vampires, presumably to try and make a deal or make it big or get recognition amongst them. And then the others are staying with our chef, who doesn't have a name unless if you want to come up with one, Fluffy, then you're welcome to do so.
He's just a human?
Yep, human chef.
I will name him Isaac.
Isaac? All right. So we have Isaac and Belt. Being played by our two
intellectual.
intellectuals.
Anyway, a South Park reference.
Oh, right. But dawn breaks, and you can, or it's breaking anyway. And so you all down in the apartments for the workers of this encampment are going to have to get up as the caravan will be packing up to make its way up soon.
And we want to sneak into their stuff.
There is some noise coming from outside the apartment. It sounds like sweeping, and there's a woman who's singing some kind of a song.
Then we sneak out with myself in Crimson's bag, and Mitty will be posing as the owner of the apartment, and Crimson is the one he spent the night with.
Okay. So, so you're going in Crimson's backpack.
Yes.
Okay. The door opens to Isaac's apartment.
Yeah, I actually kind of lost track of him during the whole kerfuffle, with the adventuring party. So what has he, like, where did he go?
We went back to Isaac's apartment.
Yes.
Okay.
Isaac's apartment, and you recognize Mitty, Isaac, that is that's the landlady outside, and she tries to sweep and keep things clean. Although you remember from Isaac's brain that he thinks that she's a bit of a busybody, and uses constantly sweeping the front of the apartments as a way to always sort of check in, quote unquote, among the residents.
I can appreciate that.
She is a bit of a
lady myself once. That's out of character. In character, Mitty doesn't care about that at all.
Yeah. So she's humming a song. The busy landlady is out there. Door opens. Oh, Isaac! Fancy running into you in front of your own apartment.
Hello. I'm sure I'm paid up on my rent.
What? Oh, of course you are. And as such, that's why I'm making sure I keep the place clean. You can never have an apartment be too clean.
Well, I certainly do appreciate that. It's a nice place to live, and I'm happy to live here.
Crimson, are you making an appearance?
Yeah, I'm just walking out behind Isaac.
Oh. Isaac, who's your friend?
Oh, this is Crimson.
Crimson, is it? You're
We
one of
met at the bar yesterday.
You're one of the short people. Oh. You don't look so good.
Oh, Crimson is a deep gnome.
I ain't never heard of a deep gnome before, Isaac. Are you sure? I heard things about the food.
We don't
of that
get a lot of
place.
sun. It messes with our complexion.
That's the deep part.
They live in caves.
Oh, well, you know, I guess, you just brought him home as, he was a little drunk?
Well, possibly. Possibly we might have both been a little drunk.
She squints her eyes and kind of like
Too loud.
leans forward, like with the broom, looks between the two of you here. Well, who am I to judge? I don't really care as long as the place is kept up. And she actually is then like the busybody is kind of she's looking past the both of you, like kind of into the apartment. Just keep yourself clean, huh, Isaac?
Absolutely.
Are you going in early? You doing a double shift this time?
I just feel inspired today, working on my single layer lasagna recipes.
A little pep in your step, huh?
He
All right.
literally has a skip in his step.
Crimson, your name was. Mm-hmm. You did not wear those boots inside of Isaac's apartment, did you?
I did wipe before I walked.
Oh. I don't know. Oh, well, Isaac. Your guest. Anyway, I have a couple other places I need to make sure are swept and kept up. So, lock your door behind you. Keep it nice and neat.
Don't let me keep you.
No, not at all. You know that I'm here all the time. Always watching and listening.
Yeah, sure.
After, go ahead.
I'm just glad you care. And he's just smiling ear to ear.
So she goes from a little bit of a clutching the pearls, sort of like in shock at the situation, to just a smile crosses her face, and as you're leaving, can I have I don't know, all three of you can make a perception.
11 for Mitty.
Tankerbell, you hear something about, Martha's not going to believe this, as you're walking away. And,
Mitty, who's Martha?
Not sure, but probably just a friend of hers.
Hmm.
You make your way up to the caravan stabling. There are some people who are out. There are some vampire employees who are already standing in front of the stables. Like, they're not on guard or being vigilant, but they're there because they know that they're going to be needing to provide like authorization or something. But they're not patrolling. Though there are a couple other patrols wearing the vampire's colors, going up and down, and the smell of food coming from the passers through area, and as well as it's not quite the wonderful continental breakfast that the Tumbled Wench has, but there are the smells of food coming from the bar area too. So you walk past, and you want to insinuate yourself into the wagons of the caravan?
Hiding.
Absolutely.
So that we can get taken up to the tower.
Okay. There is a stable boy who is a halfling lad who's out there getting the horses ready, slicking them down with a brush and making sure everything is good to go for the guests that have spent the night here. So The horses are being tended to. There are the wagons that, as far as you can tell without any sort of special rolls or senses, don't have anyone watching. But the stable boy might hear you ruffling around with the wagons nearby.
Then silently, we should climb in.
That's not gonna work.
Nope.
Clang, clang, clang.
I'm really...
Oh, you're a clangy boy, huh?
Yeah.
It's those iron boots.
I'm surprised the landlady didn't hear it.
Oh, she mentioned it.
Well, no, she mentioned the boots, but I asked her if she thought we were too loud last time. She didn't say a thing.
Oh. So is the is Pearl's group nearby? How is the geometry working out here?
Yeah, they're in a different part of this larger building. So the stabling is in one half, and then where the caravanners stay is in the other.
Okay. But they're planning on departing with the caravan as well, as like guards or something?
Yeah, they're the ones who are the merchants and the guards of the wagons and the merchants as well.
Okay.
And it does. You can't see it, but there is there is some noise of people coming from beyond a wall. That's probably the separator between the halves, or at least an open area, so that the smells from one don't always travel to the other. But yeah, it does sound like some of them are getting up and are getting ready here because they're gonna need to go soon.
Okay.
The action plan?
Okay.
To wait for Tankerbell.
Okay.
Yeah.
No plans of my own.
The stable boy appears to be preoccupied, still getting the horses and the donkeys prepped and ready to go. So you haven't been addressed or spotted yet. Though in
we
the
could just
absence,
walk up like we own the thing.
no. You can, or if you want to provide a distraction.
Could do that. I'm gonna go talk to the stable boy.
Sure. Clump, 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 clump.
Clang, clang, clang.
All right. As you walk in, your boots are very heavy on the wooden floor here of the stable, and you hear the brushing stops, and this halfling, this young halfling, looks from behind the horse's leg. Excuse me, sir.
Yep.
Can I help you?
Oh yes, I'm just looking for my party's horses.
Well, the horses are here.
Yeah,
You're
I was just checking on them.
You're with the caravan that came in last night?
Yep.
Oh, well, they're pretty well ready to go. Got a couple more things I gotta do. Did you have any special requests? I can probably do it. A little extra coin.
No, I was just checking. You know, the big people are they're so particular about them. They send me out to go check, and I keep going back and saying, yeah, no, everything's fine.
Why do you have shoes like that?
It's for training.
Oh, like to
You
make
gotta
you
be
stronger?
Yeah, you gotta be really strong, though, to wear shoes like this. You should get yourself a pair.
I wonder if I could get some horseshoes on my own boots.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good place to start.
that's not a bad idea at all. I hope I can be a stable man one day. And not just a stable boy. Working with these big old animals just it fills me with inspiration and confidence.
Yeah.
Beautiful creatures.
Yeah. They're a bit too tall for my take, but that's what happens when you travel with tall people.
Now, where are you from? I don't know your accent.
I'm from the border of Lacuna and Upt.
Oh, I hear that's quite a place right now. Lots of weird things going on. Although, I'm sorry, I can't quite tell. You have a certain look to you. Are you a gnome?
Let's go with that.
Oh, my condolences then. Oh, I don't mean it. Oh, hold on. I think I put my own foot in my mouth. I mean, what with you all getting eaten up and all of Uct kind of disappearing into the jaws of a giant flesh monster and all.
Yep.
At least that's what
Anyways.
the travelers tell me.
Anyways, everything looks good. I'm just gonna go play down in the cart. The rest will show up when they show up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so awkward. I shouldn't have said all that.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Get yourself those iron boots sometime.
No, I sure stepped in it. I'm sorry.
So I'm Crimson's just gonna go up to a cart and just get in it.
He is flustered and is going to go back to grooming the donkey that he was. Okay. Tankerbell and Isaac. Crimson was providing conversation / perhaps distraction with the halfling stable boy that was tending to the donkey. And what would you like to do?
I want to sneak into the cart.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth at advantage as you go buzzing past. I'm sure you're invisible, but this is to see if the stable boy notices a big old horsefly in the stable. Oh, geez, I don't think I can beat that even if I crit. So, all right, yeah. So you stealth mode. You go over, and you can hang out in one of the carts. Now this leaves Isaac, the chef, to do something.
He should.
He should take himself off mute.
That's a good start.
So, I guess the thing that Isaac would do would be to go to the see if there's anybody who needs. Is there like a chuck wagon?
Not here because the bar's across the way. That would serve.
I'm not sure if they're going that far, right? So maybe the thing that he would do, because he's so happy to just to be alive, would be to go up and down the groups, just asking people if they've all got their provisions ready. If there's anything he can run across the street and get them from the establishment.
Clever. I like it. Okay. Yeah. So as the hiding and the infiltrating of the merchant carts is taking place, the woman that was the sparkly fingers ends up walking out with the one who was reading a book, and they're talking about something before they're interrupted, and she looks at you. Can I help you?
Well, maybe I can help you, just making sure that you've got all the food and provisions you need. We've got lots of nice meals that we can provide for you from the establishment across the street, whose name I'm sure I know.
Yeah.
And just making sure that you have all the provisions you'll need for today's wonderful journey. And if you don't, I'd be happy to bring anything to you that you need.
Wow, that's exceptional service, though we're not going to need anything for the day, as we're just going up to the tower to drop off our cargo. There might be some things to pick up before we head off, but I'll tell you what, sir, I need to go work out a couple things first. Why don't you stay here and talk with our bookkeeper for our group, and maybe he can arrange an order with you.
Of course.
She walks off well, honestly, she walks out to the latrine herself, and you're left with the bookkeeper.
I'll just
yes.
her. Careful, it's not always safe in there.
Oh yeah. So she goes to do her morning business, and you're left with the bookkeeper. And the bookkeeper looks to you and says, "Yes, I think that we can place an order, though that would depend on the expense of your provisions. Do you have some sort of a menu?"
I'm sure I do. He would. I mean, it would be the things that are normally available plus his own special recipes. So he would be able to recite, I think, most of that from memory because he cooks it all day.
All right. So yeah, you can recite that back as he goes down a list of things, and a lot of it is the pretty straightforward. It's a you need like 5 cheese chunk of, 10 meat hunk of.
We do have meat hunk of.
And and things along those lines. That they'll need ale, gallon X2, and other things along those lines.
Yes, may I interest you in small beer per gallon?
Yeah.
Here's your small beer. Wham!
So you're given quite the adventuring list, including daily rations, which that's pretty much all it says. Is just I need 10 days rations, and it's kind of up to you to interpret what that could mean. But it's quite the adventurer's checklist of things that they need before they go to their next location. Ooh, pardon. And you're able to give them kind of a quote. There's a little bit of negotiation that needs to take place, and while you're negotiating back and forth for all of these things, the other members of the group are up, and in fact, you even see Belt. Belt is also needing to visit the latrine. However, that just seems to be this really large tree that's over here.
Yes, careful with those large trees. They're not always safe.
Anything to go off of.
Meanwhile, Pearl, I guess you're getting to have a very unique experience.
Oh goodness, I'm dying. If there's anyone else who needs to be warned about the bathroom, I'm happy to do that for you.
The other adventuring group and the merchants, after some time, are ready to go, and the stable boy is bringing the donkeys and the horses out. There's probably about another half hour before everything is set to go. The sun is cresting the horizon. Isn't fully above it just yet, but will shortly.
Just waiting. That's all I'm doing.
All right, is Isaac? Do you actually want to try and run over to get supplies, or are you gonna do something else to get into a cart?
No, that's exactly what he's going to do. And then once, just the plan is once everybody's used to seeing him around, nobody's going to ask questions if he goes with the group.
Sure. Okay,
So-
you come down here after some negotiation. I don't know how fiercely Isaac or an intellect devourer can negotiate. So you might have actually just like really undersold all the supplies.
He's not in this for profit, but obviously he knows what the prices are because it's stuff that he sells all day. So
You can go to the kitchen or the storage area. Like there's a storage shed and a part of the kitchen, and you can start bringing that back. And I guess you could load that into the cart.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So in fact, no one seems to pay attention to the gopher that is delivering supplies to one of the carts. Now that cart in particular, though, it was a good deal that was struck, and you can start loading it up. That one isn't necessarily meant to go up to the tower because you don't want to load it up and then you'd have to take it back down. But you are amongst the carts.
Yeah, okay, that's good enough. I mean, I am assuming that everybody will take their own provisions anyway, so it's. He just wants to get people used to seeing him, so nobody asks, "Why are you here?" That's the plan.
Okay. Then the call goes out that the caravan's leaving soon. No one seems to be paying exceptional attention to you, as Belt, you're over there practicing a couple like great axe swings. You're like, oh man, arms and muscles, and this is really good. And the others are doing a couple things. The Sky Talker is practicing a couple things, is making some images appear and making sure that I guess she's working. What would you like to do then? Because the provision cart is there. You've been working to bring supplies out to it, but you'll need to get into one that's actually going to the tower, at least presumably.
Yeah, well, I mean, the plan was, once everything had been dropped off, people would just be used to seeing him around and nobody would ask questions anymore, that he could just follow along with the caravan. But if that's not going to work, like if I have to get in with a specific group, then I'm not sure who placed the biggest order. Because
X group. I don't really have a.
Yeah, of course. So then, in that case, the next thing that he's going to try to do is just kind of let everybody know that. So how long is the trip? Is it like a full day or is it like half a day? How long are we walking along the trip?
Oh, it'll just take the like the morning and the after. Like it'll take a little bit to get up the trail. It's a winding trail. You want to be careful. Then you're gonna spend the late morning and afternoon unloading. Getting, well, I mean not you because you're not a part of the caravan, but the caravan is going to be unloading, maybe even buying or taking other supplies along with payment, and then is going to have to come back down. So I guess they would have said that they need you to get their provision wagon ready so that they can leave by late afternoon, as that's how long they expect everything to take.
Yeah, well, that doesn't seem so bad. So they'll probably be back here by end of day then, like tonight, like evening, like 9, 10, something like that. Is that kind of what I'm seeing? Like they're going to go up there in the morning and then load up and then leave in the afternoon and then come back.
Yeah, well, they're going up there. They're going to come back probably around like 3 or 4, and then they're planning on like departing after that. That's why they want their provision wagon full.
Ah, so they're like this is like a half-day trip.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Well then, in that case, I misunderstood the plan, but that's okay. My guess is that Mitty might have misunderstood the plan. But he sure is happy about it all. That's for sure. He's
we going
just,
somewhere?
He's just glad to have a plan, even if it's not the right one. So maybe that's it. Maybe.
Mitty, go bye cart.
He hangs his head over the side of the cart. Okay, think fast, Fliffy.
Yep.
Okay.
You got to crawl into another cart if you want to go with the group.
All right. So in that case, he is going to look around for a cart that looks like they might be like understaffed for the amount of stuff that they're transporting. Is there anybody who looks like that?
Not understaffed, as they all seem to have came in as a group that has been like they weren't complaining like, oh boy, we sure lost 10 of them on the way here. Unless you're considering understaffed, like there's one where it's just a driver who's probably getting the mutual protection. They probably paid into the group for the adventurers to protect them, but it's one cart driven by one driver.
Yeah, I would ask him if he wants me to come along just to help him load and unload.
Okay. Now, is that what you're asking as Isaac, or is that what you're asking as Mitty because you want to jump brains?
No, I'm thinking of doing it as Isaac. I'm not looking to jump brains just yet.
Okay.
I might. I mean, like a single. I mean, yes, you're on the right track. A lone merchant is a very tempting target for Mitty. Mm-hmm. But right now, just looking for as Isaac, like looking for somebody who provides me cover to travel with the group.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he'll offer cut rates, like whatever it is, like 3 or 4 copper pieces probably for cut rate day labor like that, right?
Sure. Make a persuasion, which is probably just going to be straight up because you're just a commoner here. But
yeah, so I get to use I have to use my own charisma. I don't get to use his. Ooh, 18.
Wow. All right.
I'll take that.
Mitty is a very charismatic intellect.
Come
on. You're being looked over by the.
You.
Yeah.
Merchants have insight. I know because I used to be one.
Yep. It's you're getting looked over like, I don't know. I could really just do this myself. I know it's a cut rate, but tell you what. Why don't we do this? If you're so eager, you want to help. I don't know you. In fact, it looks like wait, are you this? You're one of the cooks in the back of the bar. I thought I caught a glimpse of you. I would like to you're doing this as something else on the side. I'll tell you what.
Trying to make a couple extra coppers. I've got responsibilities.
I'll let you come with me on an intern basis. It's job experience. You do this, you unload things, and I'll make sure to tell your boss. I understand he's a bit of a hard-ass chef. I'll tell him that you did a good job. And surely, my word has to carry some weight.
Doing it for the exposure.
Yeah.
That's such a terrible deal. Out of character, I'm offended by this.
You should be, absolutely. I'm doing my job then.
How old is Isaac?
Isaac's probably mid-20s. Came out here to a vampire-infested frontier in hopes of, getting a job and like trying to make something of himself and prove that he's strong and can survive.
Fine. I'll take the deal. It's not about the money anyway. I just want to go along. That's not how Mitty does it. Mitty's like, "Oh, that's such a generous offer.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm glad to be working with you."
Good choice, lad. Good choice. I assure you, my word will extol your deeds as long as you perform well. Looks like you're of an age of having a strong back and knees. and I look forward to your service. It's always good to have a local on the team.
Happy to help. Happy to help.
And I'll tell you what, if you need any of my supplies, I'll even sell them to you at a discount.
I sure would appreciate that. I don't think I need any supplies, but if I do, you'll be the first one I look to.
Ah, well, good. At least you understand that I made the offer, so no one can say that I can't.
Yes.
All right, so you're just like, hop in the back, and after the sun has now like just cleared the horizon. The sky has gone from that kind of bluey pink now to a nice orangey blue, and is only going to get bluer here. And the caravan sets off up the trail. So you cut across town. There's the other three of you. Well, not that Belt has to hide. In fact, Belt is walking beside one of the wagons, and you're having a decent time staying caught up. You certainly have enough movement speed and endurance to just walk beside a beast of burden pulled cart. Though Crimson and Tankerbell, you are, well, at least Crimson's in the cart. Now, I mean, the stable boy didn't say anything, but these carts are going to end up getting checked over. So with Tankerbell and Crimson here, like they're going to like be looking in the carts, securing things, making sure that nothing was stolen at night. What would you like to do in order to either be detected and say something, or avoid being detected, or murder the first person that finds you? That's an option. Oh, I can't hear you, Coffee. There we go.
I think we want to avoid that option for the time being.
Okay.
If they look like they're going to find, do I know where Crimson is?
Yeah.
The same cart.
You can. All the carts are close enough together. You can communicate telepathically and sort of do like an I Spy game until you locate the cart.
Okay. So, well, if I can't see him, then I can't really polymorph him. That's a shame. If
And you're invisible, you can just go into the cart I'm in.
yeah, I think what I would do actually is like to join, like be in the same cart as Crimson the whole way through. This way, if they're running into a point where they look like they're gonna find him, I want to polymorph him into a mouse.
Oh, okay. Sure.
This way he can be small and hide.
Okay, yeah. So you find Crimson, who's jamming out in one of the carts, and sure enough, there are some of the caravanners that are coming around, and one of them is getting ready to crawl into the cart that you two are in.
Okay, then if they look like they're gonna find him, I'm gonna cast polymorph on him, turn him into a mouse, and then turn myself invisible.
Okay.
No, wait, actually both are concentration. I can't do that.
That's
Never
true.
mind.
You can only do
I
one.
can't be invisible. I can, and we both will
If
be.
you polymorph me, you're tiny, we both could just hide.
Yeah, hide in like crevices and things like that. Just
Okay.
polymorph him so he's tiny.
Sure. So you're polymorphing Crimson into a mouse?
Into a mouse. And
Okay.
we're both gonna hide in whatever thing we can to avoid detection
Okay.
as they're going through things.
Roll a stealth, Tankerbell.
Hey. I hope this goes well.
23? Yep. Okay. Yep. You, so you and Mouse Crimson, managed to still stay with the cart, but avoid any sort of active detection. There's there might have been a tense moment, like, I thought I saw some movement. I don't know, it could just be a mouse or something. And but then the person seems content that there's no stowaways or anything stolen, and the Yamule goes out, and you all start heading across the encampment, making your way through. You are escorted across by 4 of these vampire employees, these guards that are dressed in the colors of this organization. 2 in the front of the caravan, 2 in the back, and they take you here, and they tell you to follow the path up, and the door will be opened for you once you're there. And they leave you behind, and you begin your ascension up.
And we plan to ride the whole way up.
It's slow going. It's not a terribly steep trail, or hairpin curves or anything too dangerous. The wind is picking up, which rattles some of the carts, and every once in a while, maybe a hoof slips from a horse, or a wagon wheel slips with a little bit of gravel underneath it. But aside from a few little moments like that, that don't have too many people very much bothered. It's a nice morning. The breeze is feeling okay. There is a long line of questions, or at least a conversation with you, Isaac, as the person who's driving this cart. Isaac, tell me a little bit about yourself. And you're getting who are you, where are you from, your level of education, a lot of questions like this.
None of the above.
Yeah. Do you have any unusual skills or talents? Like you're kind of getting, this feeling like he's asking, like, I don't know, maybe he wants to give you a job.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you about my 1-layer lasagna.
There might be a market for just that. I haven't heard of that before, and I've heard a lot about a lot of foods.
I know, isn't it a wonderful idea? But that's not the only idea I've got. Have you heard about my vegetarian meatballs?
I can't say that I have, but that would be popular with the gnomes.
I think it would be great, especially the forest gnomes. They're all fleeing from Uct, and
yeah,
that's just well, it seems like the sort of thing they would like, and I think they'd appreciate the irony. You know how forest gnomes are.
I thought you meant the intake, because they don't eat a lot of meat, and they got to keep their iron up.
Also that, yes. Yes. See, we're on the same wavelength.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I like what you're saying. They're already in a tough situation. They could use something that they can really, attach to, make them feel welcome in a home. And I bet that there's a way that we could absolutely pander to them.
Yes, absolutely. And the forest gnomes, well, they all live in trees. So I've got this great idea for when they have to come out, and live in regular houses. I've got this idea for like tree wallpaper, so it will look like the inside of a tree, even when they're living in a constructed house.
Isn't that just like gluing bark to the inside of a house?
Yeah, that's why it's great, because it's so cheap. Like
of course, the sawmills just throw that stuff away.
Exactly.
Oh, never let a tragedy go to waste. Isaac, you're brilliant. You have a mind for business.
Well, I sure do think so.
So this conversation goes on up the trail. You're wibbling and wobbling your way through. A couple of the wagon wheel slips, and there's a point where the lead wagon, the donkey, just starts getting really, really uppity, and there's a little bit of a whoa, hey, whoa, and the signal, like the hand signal for all the wagons to stop, goes off, and the merchant with I don't know, we'll say book reader, book reader and sparkly fingers are the guards for the lead up there. Are getting down, and book reader seems to be the one that's actually tending to the animals there. What's going on? And sparkly fingers begins a some sort of a spell, and her eyes open up as she starts looking around. There's something here with us. And the call goes out. Everyone on guard. Guard. And so the caravan, Isaac, the happy merchant is like looks back to you, is like, oh, it looks like there might be some trouble. Fortunately, we're right in the middle, so hopefully they'll protect us. If it comes down to it, though, I don't know. Do you know how to stick someone with the pointy end of a knife or something? Nope, you're muted.
The center's the safest place of the herd. That's what the sheep always tell me.
There we go.
I'm not really much of a fighter, but if worst comes to worst, I could run.
A brilliant idea. I'd hate to sacrifice you, though. That's a price I'm willing to pay.
That may shake even Mitty's general aura of happiness. As long as you get away and I run faster than the other guy, then I think we'll both come out of it okay.
You have a mind for business, my dear Isaac. Absolutely. Get away with everything you can. All right.
And then over on the other end, Belt is saying, "Ha! On guard! That is what I like to hear."
Yeah, you're stoked. Your battle axe is out, and you're looking around. And sure enough, coming up from a little crevice in the rocks right here, with a very grating sound, like almost like forks on dishes. Although it's amplified by the rocks as it echoes down the path. There is a creature that looks like two hands held together, but they'd be upside down with the fingers downwards like tendrils that end as if like the fingers had metal nails like driven through them, and coming from between where the two like palms, like the two meaty palms would meet, is like a big like a saw blade that is just revving as this thing of meat and metal crawls up from a hidey hole on these like spindly fingers with these metal nails driven through that scrabble and scribble over the rocks. And the thing screams through the saw blade, giving off a metallic vibration that just is really, really off-putting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear some drawings. And we're going to get raided by Laws of Gods and Men. Hello. You came in at a very nice time here, as we are getting ready for a caravan ambush. Because this is D&D, and this is D&D, and you got to have a caravan ambush at some point in time.
As if the Chroma Company hasn't been ambushed a lot.
But in a caravan?
We are a caravan.
We had a donkey at one point.
That's true.
And a cart. Actually, we stole it from another person, but
yeah. I was like,
And a cargo ferry.
Yes, Chroma Company has stolen many more forms of transportation.
Look, People don't want to just give them to us. It's fine. We're poor most of the time. We actually have money now. But we were poor a lot.
Yes, we rob from the rich and give to ourselves.
Poor.
Give to the poor, which is us.
Well, let's
What a
see.
great
I
party
don't really
treasurer.
have I don't really have a wagon to put down, so I think what I can do is we'll make a creature into a wagon, I guess. There you go. A gelatinous cube kind of looks like a wagon. Whoops.
Well, they're both full of random stuff.
True.
Yeah. That, yeah.
These look more like gelatinous mattresses.
Yeah, when I stretch them out like that. The ultimate sleep comfort.
Buy yours today.
It aligns your spine.
So we have our wagon drivers. And then we are going to have Pearl, who is playing the Berserker, was in the back wagon. And then Mitty was in the middle. And then we have... we'll put Tankerbell and Crimson in this cart here. And, we have another one of the meaty protectors back here. And I need a... We have Sparkly Fingers. We have Book Reader, who's a librarian. There we go. And then we needed two more kind of... We have another Beefy. And then we had the Sky Talker. And our Sky Talker will be you. So yeah, it looks like Isaac, congratulations. You went with like the cheapo who just sort of like bought the sweet spot in the middle, and everyone else has well, the cart in front of you doesn't necessarily, but it might be like one and one back here for the front two, and he's just like, yeah, I'm in the middle, it's fine. There's also horses and pack mules. We'll just say that they're in the middle here. They could possibly be attacked in combat, but they're not going anywhere because they're tied to the wagons. So let's just use our imaginations because I don't have to put a bunch of... I'm sorry, I made duplicate tokens down there. Anyway. So the animals are something to consider, but I'm now going to put the monsters... Do I have anything that's kind of like this? I wonder. Oh, yeah, there's a tendril monster. I've used one before.
Do these look like the kinds of things that my magic isn't effective upon?
Yeah. Yeah, these are creatures of flesh and metal. And they are...
Gross.
They're very gross.
I don't like them.
Okay. So there is the attack is imminent here, and you all heard them as the call was out. Everyone was on defense. So what's going to happen is you can do something, and then I will have my monsters go. So I really don't care the initiative you go in, because my monsters were already going and gave themselves away, just because they're clinging and clanging and making a really, like on a existential level, just like vibrating your molecules with that metal on rock scraping sound and that buzzing blade between the meaty palms as they're scrabbling up. So yes, what I don't know. You all do something. The caravan, the caravan has come to a halt, and all their brakes have been put on. Not that they can't be taken off, but depending on however fast these things can move, will probably overtake the caravan.
Quick, circle the mattresses.
Should we book it?
Yes.
Booking it.
We run.
Okay. All right. So you bail out of the hiding spot, and your metal boots clang on the rocks, and just clang, 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 clang as you start booking it out of there.
I'm
I
staying
think
with
he is because of the monsters that are just like, oh, it probably just covers the sound.
Well, I mean, you're going to be obvious in doing this, but Tankerbell maybe not so much.
I
gonna
would
stay
like
with
to
Crimson.
run. Oh, I didn't mean to draw. I am gonna run this way.
Can
Okay.
we run off the side of the path like that? I'm not sure how the road works. Are we going up like a cliffside?
Yeah, you would have to climb, like actively be climbing, because you are on a winding mountain path going up.
Oh, okay.
The path is smooth, but yeah, you could go up because this side would lead you up because you're winding up to the tower base. So you can go uphill or downhill off the path if you want, but it would be dangerous terrain with climbing checks, etc.
Okay. That way then.
Sure.
I want to be on this side of the carts though.
Yeah, I'm staying with Crimson.
Okay. You can easily keep up with Crimson. Are you saying or do anything to the others before you leave?
Telepathically, I'm sending to whoever's in range, run.
That would be Isaac.
And if Isaac can tell Belt, then we're running.
Okay.
I'm not sure that Belt is running. Belt is probably not running. Isaac possibly will be running. We'll see.
Mm.
So, okay, so where's the rest of Belt's party? Which of these NPCs are them?
This one here, and technically the merchant. But the
Okay.
merchant's, not exactly looking like he's, like, super battle ready.
Sure, but like there was a wizard and there was a cleric and
Yeah.
there was probably a warlock. So who are they?
The Sparkly Fingers is here. Book Reader is here. And this person is the Sky Talker. And these
Okay.
two were different types of beefy boys, just not as beefy as Belt.
Okay, all right, so we're in good shape. And Belt, of course, is me, right? Is
Yes.
the purple me.
Yeah, you are a
All right,
berserker.
That's fine. Oh, yeah, okay. So do I have like barbarian powers, or is it just berserker out of the monster manual?
We can. I'm sure we can add something in. Like if you want to rage and add a little bonus damage, that's fine.
Okay. All right, that's probably a good start. All right, so assuming that he has speed of 30, I mean he's just gonna run right for him. Isaac is going to also start running
Okay.
Because that's what he does. But Belt is not. Belt is fighting.
Isaac, boy! I thought I was going to give you a good recommendation. Stay here and shield me.
I thought we were gonna run. I was gonna run, and you were gonna run. We were both gonna run.
He looks back to the stuff in his wagon, looks around. I guess they're not going to take it. That's not a bad idea! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, he dismounts and starts running.
Okay. I guess if we're running, that counts as a dash, so we can run together.
Okay.
I'm not sure that Belt is going to be able to dash into battle. That just seems unwise. Belt may not have 14 intelligence, but Pearl does.
Let's get these squared
Pearl
up.
knows better.
1, 2, 3.
Pearl knows. We've fought these things before, I'm sure.
Have we? Oh, I haven't.
Well,
one of these things.
Tankerbell is familiar with these things.
Oh.
Our magic doesn't work on it.
Or things like them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than that magic doesn't work on them, is there anything else that Pearl or Isaac, or excuse me, Pearl or Mitty would have known about them?
Just that they seem super sensitive towards your kind.
Oh.
They seem to be
Delightful.
they seem to see Tankerbell even if she's invisible. Her magic doesn't work on them, and they also really love gnomes and elves above anyone else.
Great. Okay.
Well, and undead too. Okay. So one of these things gets up, and if it wasn't worse that they were scraping and crawling out, once it's emerged, it just begins to hover with these nail-driven fingers dangling below it, and goes over to attack the one caravan driver that's here. And
Yeah, they were gonna get us in.
oh yeah, absolutely will hit. And one of these nails ends up piercing the flesh of the caravan driver, and he just looks really sickly. Just almost instantly changes color and just is not looking very hot. And after that, it punctures, and then the rest of this finger wraps around the caravan driver, grappling him. And then the saw blade spinning between the two meaty palms leans forward. And tears out a chunk of the driver's flesh.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And so there's a scream from the caravan driver as it's grappled, injected with something, and this buzzsaw is going at it. The other one is going to also take to the air in some grisly, pulsating fashion and start coming over in another way. Let's see, there's not another close by caravan driver because he fled, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one's coming over, although, I don't know, this meaty boy was shouting at him to try and get his attention. So he's going to come over as well, is going to attack with a nail tendril. And is going to miss. So this person with a sword and shield, the nail comes to puncture, bang, and is clanged out of the way by the shield. However, the buzzsaw goes in for the follow-up, and that is, it comes back down and with discipline resets and holds the shield right when the this buzzsaw is now sending sparks flying up from the this defender's shield. As this thing is savaging the other defender. Now we're back up to you all to do whatever you're going to do.
I think we're still looking at.
You can still, yep, you can continue running. That's fine. You are a safe distance. And that merchant is as well. We come back down here. The others are going to try and take a turn. Sparkly Fingers is going to turn and
hang on.
Nope.
Hang on.
Turn.
Yeah, I get a turn, right? Because the three of the because Mitty and Tankerbell and Crimson are fleeing, but Pearl is not fleeing.
Okay.
Pearl is fighting. So Pearl runs up to the creature, and then Pearl / Belt is looking around, seeing like what is the rest of my group doing.
Bye. They're ascending.
No, not those people. Those people from the party.
Oh, Belt's group. They're
Yes.
they're turning to fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So in between, Belt is yelling out. I don't know, something appropriate to him. Perhaps. I live for these, and he's swinging his battle axe. Jeez, he doesn't have much of an attack. I guess we will use the reckless attack. That is the correct choice. Correct choice for Belt. So I will have +5 on these. 21.
Yeah. That hits, and the other one does too.
Well, it's advantage, so it doesn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought that was the multi. Yeah, you're right. That
No,
does hit,
he doesn't have multi-attack, unfortunately.
Yeah,
6 points.
Not quite there. All right. Yeah.
That's a pretty bad roll.
You take a chunk out of this thing as you slice through the flesh. Anything else?
That's all he's got.
All right. Sword and board behind or next to you. It tells you good solid hit, Belt. And goes to poke with the sword, but another one of these finger tendrils like flicks the blade out of the way. And he also does not get a second swing. We come over to Book Reader, who hops up on this cart and draws back an arrow, knocks an arrow and releases it. Pew! And crits. Oh, nice.
Ooh.
All right. Dealing another 10 points of damage. As this thing just like finds an area between the two palms pressed together and just it wedges in there. And the buzzsaw like goes whirring and there's some like blood-like substance that's pouring out of it. We have other muscly person. 5, 10, 15. Oh yeah, can run up. It looks at the two of you. I hope you saved some for me. And is going to... Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Skytalker. Never mind. She is going to move over here and holds her skull golden coin out, and some sort of magic flies out, but it seems to have no effect on this thing. And she looks at her symbol in disbelief of ironies, and then is baffled. Sparkly Fingers tries the same through her own magic and meets the same result. And then we have... you are going to come over here. And you are also going to try and poke this thing. And do so. For 5 points of damage. Yeah. Okay. That is their go. We come back to you all who are still running off. Successfully. There's only 2 of these things.
Okay. Well, as Belt yells to the erstwhile members of his party, I always say, giant axe much better than little finger wiggles. So, Belt would like to rage.
Sure.
We haven't established a level for him, but if he's level 3, he would like to use Frenzy.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. So that basically means he can make a second attack. And he will also become exhausted
as
at
a
the end of
bonus.
the battle.
Yeah, all right.
So we will continue to attack recklessly. So this will be with advantage, and this will be at +5, and so I'll roll it twice. So 18
Oh, yeah.
and 19.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I like to see that.
Smack,
So
smack.
the damage for him is going to be 2d12 plus 6 because they both hit.
Yep.
16.
All right. All right. You lop off several of the finger tendrils, and come back, and you just take another chunk out. As your comrade beside you, Belt, I can always count on you.
Yeah, you can count on me to get whacked in the head. Say that out loud.
The others, Skytalker and Sparkle Fingers, are they don't know what else to do, as their magic is useless, and so too they're feeling useless and not being very creative thinkers. The one with the bow knocks another arrow. And pews, and we'll get the arrow in. That one, though, is definitely not a critical hit, but every little bit helps. Yeah, got another one. Go us, whatever our team name is. And Sword Poker beside you. Also, once more tries to stab, and one of the remaining tendrils flicks the blade out of the way. And I need to get some pokes in back on everyone else too. But there's one other attack.
All tendrils, then you can hit.
20 plus 5, and that's gonna be. Ooh, wow! The other one got a critical hit in, so. It looked really savage, but apparently it didn't really hit any vital spots. I am going to... Let's see. You've been putting in work, Belt, and so this thing is going to turn its attention to you. Now, I get advantage,
so
correct?
Yes, you do.
All right.
Because reckless. Yep.
Tentacle advantage, and this is going to be at a +4. So 15?
15 will hit.
Okay, so...
My AC is 13.
Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, as you take 7 piercing damage, and some kind of a substance is pumped into the stab wound that it gave you.
Okay, so barbarians have con proficiency, but the berserker monster does not. So should I?
No, on that part, let's leave it just as that. Otherwise, we're adding a lot more than just what the NPC.
10.
10? Oh. If only you did have proficiency. So, you are poisoned for a minute.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Let me see. Poisoned. All right. Or be poisoned for 1 minute. The poisoned target is paralyzed, and it can repeat its saving throws at the end of each of its turns.
Oh, well, that is maybe a little worse than I was thinking.
So you're poisoned and paralyzed, but you can make saves. And you're also grappled as well, as it not only like poisons you, but then it curls the rest of this finger around you. And then it's going to try and buzzsaw you.
How much damage did I take from that? Or was that just...
It was 10 piercing, but the other stuff is just an effect. It's not damage.
Okay. 10 piercing. I can handle that.
And then we have... that'll definitely... The buzzsaw then leans in and rips you for... 7 slashing damage.
That's not so bad. I've been slashed before. Actually, that's in character. I have been slashed before!
Your comrade next to you goes, Belt, no! And is still trying to desperately flail. The rest of you continue to flee, and you have a good distance between you and the battle raging. We come back to the battle. Would Belt like to do anything?
Belt would like to recover from being paralyzed. That'd be nice.
That would be tactically advantageous. There you go. All right.
Is that at the start of my turn or the end?
That is at the end of your turn.
All right. I can do nothing else then.
Okay. So yeah, you flex your muscle and you kind of squirt that venom back out through your wound.
Metal.
Yeah. Your comrade's going to swing, and no, not Belt. Anyone but Belt. Hey, there we go. Oh, in a desperate fury, how poetic and wonderful! The sword finally lands a blow on the horrible creature, and oh, that's not the right die I needed. Such is the rage. Belt, you taught him your rage. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Power damage on a d6. We have, so it's not a critical strike, but it's almost, as this thing finds its home inside a fleshy hemisphere of this creature. The arrow giver, who is the book reader, attacks as well. And, yep, pwing. Pwing. And we are at 49. Okay. The Sky Talker runs forward and 1, 2. Let me. Okay, it doesn't have reach. 3. But she's passing through. But she wants to save Belt. Belt is such an integral part of the party that the cleric is willing to sacrifice her life. I don't like that ever happens. To try and save other people. She's gonna take an attack of I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's gonna take an attack of opportunity on the cleric, and misses. So yes, apparently the goddess is watching after her, and she comes up and she is going to Belt. An interesting experience for you as Pearl, as you feel your body stitching itself back up together. Your nerve endings reconnect and your flesh entwines once more, and you recover 9 hit points.
Boy, Mitty sure did miss out on that.
Yeah.
He would have lived it.
Ooh. If only it doesn't really hurt when my nerve endings turn back on again. Let's see. Finger Wiggler is going to pick up a rock off the path and put that in a sling, and boing, and the wizard's gonna fling a stone at the creature. Oh wow! And absolutely deal some damage. That's gonna be 3 points of bludgeoning damage from a rock. There we go. And she's like all proud of herself, like, I did it. Oh, this is combat. Like that, the primal rush of adrenaline's flowing through her that she flung a rock. And
Delightful.
the other sword. That one just manages, like, it rides against the blade and it just nicks in. Bloop. For another 6. They're sneaking in more damage over here. All right. You all continue to flee. You're making good progress. When you're not having to be held back by all these carts and weight and everything, you can really put in some work. And the group is pretty well caught up because Crimson is clanging up, and everyone else can pretty much just keep up with the normal pace, even if you're double moving. So you all are moving as a group further and further up. And we come back here. Belt and everyone else. Oh, wait, did I? No, I didn't make my attacks against the others for this round yet. So that was everyone else. And then, let's see. I'm grappling you with one of my tentacles.
You sure are.
However, the guy next to you actually had done something to grab aggro. Because you just spent your turn, well, being its victim, and that's what it wanted. So... Yeah. It is going to send another tendril, but it's going to send it at your buddy here. And, oh, yeah, it's going to tear into him. Oh, no. Buddy. Little buddy.
He gonna die.
And, so, once more, there is a... Ooh, all right, just barely. Doesn't get poisoned, but you see that there's that juice or whatever that's leaking out of the wound. It is then going to lean in and try and cut him down. Oh, but misses. Misses terribly. So maybe Belt, like, it has you wrapped up and you sort of like, you're not paralyzed, so you sort of like jerk it back right when the buzzsaw was getting really close to his face and it got pulled back.
My friend, I will save you by pulling the tentacle away.
Thank you, friend.
Is all I can do. I am grappled.
Yeah. And the other one is going to attack the sword swinger with a swingy do. Will not hit. And let's check out the rip saw here. And that will also, masterful. You're just hearing like ting and then fing, 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 as the person holds their sword out, and there's just sparks flying from the metal on metal action going on here. Now we're to the top. You continue to run, and then it's NPC including Belt's turn. Belt, you are grappled.
I am grappled, but at least my rage didn't break.
Yee.
So I'm going to go ahead and make my 2 reckless attacks. These will be, once again, +5 relative to the advantage. So that will be 16 and a crit.
Wow, nice. Both of those will absolutely hit then.
All right, so that's going to be 3d12 plus 6.
Wow, 35. All right, yeah, all right. You cleave this thing and have it. As much as I described, it was like 2 hands like together with the tendrils drooping down. You just come up and you just slice it so that these two like palms now just fall apart, and it twitches a little bit, but it's done.
I chop in half, like single-layer lasagna.
Belt, you did it! But there's still one more!
Not for long!
You just jump over and you run. All right. The so you start doing that. The healer back here is going to turn to Sword Comrade, and is going to try and his wounds also close up, and she says, "Go get him." And he simply looks back at her and nods with a stern look. And but can't really dramatically jump over the corpse of the monster like Belt can, so he's going to deftly kind of like tiptoe around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 25... Wait, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can't quite get up there, but charges ahead, looks back at you. Come on, Belt! Let's do it! And the person with the bow and arrow just simply looks at the other creature and doesn't have to move.
I'd be there as soon as I can. My axe is faster than my legs.
Unfortunately, that is just when a stiff mountain breeze blows across the trail and carries the arrow a little bit wide. And then the sword haver that is up on up on that thing already. Whoop.
Yeah, that was a botch.
There we go. Not tang goes into to try and pierce it as well, but the saw blade kicks the blade up, and it's not enough. And then our wizard is going to sling another stone, and boop, the stone just hits against the meaty palm and just sort of falls. And she looks very defeated. Now the monster gets to attack. There is the other one, so it's going to just try and tear into that person. Can I actually defeat an... Oh, I might actually just defeat an NPC here, because there's no curing coming from that direction, and this is probably going to do it. Yep. All right. So... one of your comrades here in arms, Belt, you just see as one of these fingers just like pierces, and then all the nails just fill the character like from the inside, like piercing, and there's just and blood trickles out, and the body just slumps as the creature turns around and takes its buzzsaw to the driver.
Womp womp.
Oh no! Oh, the so with the buzzsaw going as it is, and the teeth are facing out to like sort of like tear up, you all just see the caravan driver just turns into a pink cloud that's sprayed in about a 20-foot cone off of where he was sitting on the in the driver's seat here.
Glad I'm not him.
And then, while it's not going to do anything else, it will turn, covered in the blood of the caravanners here, towards your sword and shield buddy here, Belt, and simply roars a very weird roar. We come back up to all of you. Those of you continue running, and then Belt, you can fight on.
I must. Actually, I must! I need to look around for a rock that is big enough to throw and deal damage.
Oh yeah, you're on a mountain path. There's rocks around you. That's fine.
Okay. I will pick up the rock and chuck it at the creature.
Sure.
I guess that's an improvised weapon, so that is not a reckless attack. That is just a regular... Actually, maybe it should be a reckless attack. Yeah. Can I redo that? Can I stand here? I'm going to want to stand here. Just because I'm raging doesn't mean I'm dumb. I'm going to stand here and throw that rock as a reckless attack. So this will still be at +5 because that's my attack modifier. So 20.
You conk this thing with a rock.
For 6 damage.
All right. All right, you bonk it with a rock.
Show you to stand far away from me. I hit you with rock.
Belt's like, I might be dumb. There's no follow up. And that was a wise thing. You may not have intelligence, but you're not unwise.
I may not have intelligence, but I do know how to keep my rage activated.
Your buddy said, yeah, that's a good shot. Turns, yarg, and runs up, sword and shield in hand, and is going to try and attack this creature. And just squeezes it in there for 3 points of damage. Take that, you fiend. Take that, you aberration. The bow and arrow.
Just about to say that.
Yeah. Oh no, that stiff mountain breeze also carries another arrow away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Sky Talker looks to you. Belt, are you injured?
Not very, only slightly.
I'll remember
Most of
that.
you over there have it worse than me.
She looks ahead as she stands next to you and bites her bottom lip, and with a firm nod, another stone is slung by the wizard. Pew. Hey! Oh, she is elated. If I can type. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Pew. Oh yeah, look at that. 2 points of damage.
Hell yeah.
Success. She's feeling it. All right. It is its turn, and it is going to look down at your buddy, and I am going to use my +1s. I'm going to use some +1s because I'm floating them. Let me get that one and that one, and these are going to be rolled at +5. Tendril. I don't think that hits him. I think the 14 was the threshold. It was just barely, but so it goes and bang, the shield. Oh yeah, because he has the shield. The shield bonks away the nails as it scrapes, and sparks fly off. It's then gonna lean in and try and use its buzzsaw here. There's a hit. And all right, 7 points of damage back on him. He's torn up. That hurt. And it goes back up to Belt and crew.
Belt and crew. All right, well, you pretty much know what's going to happen here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and move over to here, because that's where I want to be.
Yes.
And we'll do the reckless attack.
All right.
And the frenzy. So this will be at +5. So crit.
Wow.
And yeah. So here we go again. 20 total.
All right. It is not looking good, but it is still barely holding together by some muscly sinew and some wires running through it.
I wish I could investigate those wires.
We have Sword and Board, buddy. Sword and Board, can you do it? Will you get the killing blow on this thing? Let's find out. No. Pang. Arrow guy. Oh, hey, maybe.
He waits for the breeze to die down for just a moment.
Oh, it looks like this thing has one more hit point left, however you quantify that in story form. And now we're to the wizard with the sling. Can she do it, ladies and gentlemen? She steps up to the mound. She grabs a rock from the strewn path. Woo! Bink! And the wizard with the kill steal on a ranged weapon attack. Sparkle Fingers is like absolutely like she's jumping and but then there's the caravan driver, and she sort of looks around and sees the remains of her.
I soften him up for you.
Belt, thank you. I knew I could rely on you to do something.
Yes. It's a shame so many people die here.
As this is going on, meanwhile, for people who've just been like double running at all their speed, the merchant, by the way, I don't know if you want to wait for him, but he's like, hold on, I'm not too good at this, running uphill. Do you want to wait for him, or do you still want to run? Any of you three?
I'm gonna just say, I'm wearing metal boots. Keep up.
So.
You haven't really taken into consideration that there is a fairy also flying around them.
Has
You're not
he?
invisible?
Has he noticed that I'm a fairy?
No, he's running for his life and doesn't care that you're not killing him, so he's just running. But he is.
So,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Pearl is going to put out a telepathic ping, like send a message telepathically to Mitty and or Tankerbell and or Crimson, anybody that can hear. Maybe nobody's within range.
Yeah.
But just like, hey, the fight's over, it's safe to come back.
I think at this point we would have stopped and looked to see what's going on.
Yeah, so you're much further up the path. The merchant, I don't know if Isaac wanted to stay behind with the merchant or not, but you two could have kept going along. And as you're looking down the path, you're just seeing that just spray of flesh and blood, a couple collapsed bodies, and the woman with sparkly fingers is doing some kind of like a dance in the road.
Humans are so weird.
I keep telling you this. All mortals are.
I don't get it. Why is she happy? Oh well.
Well, Isaac will.
Maybe she didn't like the guys who died.
Isaac will say, yeah, she's happy because they died and she didn't. I can understand that.
I mean, the same. I'm happy about that too.
All right, Isaac, do you want to stay behind with the merchant who is sitting on the side of the road huffing?
Actually, Isaac would look over to him and say, I better get back and check on the merchandise. They'll probably steal most of it.
Whew. Yeah,
And the sooner we get back, the sooner I'll be able to put a stop to it.
That's a good idea there, Isaac. Oh, don't worry. As soon as I get my breath back, going downhill's a lot easier for me.
That really depends on how steep the hill is.
All right, so you'll start trotting back. Now, for you two, because you can, you can travel more quickly. You don't need to recheck everything. You're not injured. Do you want to rush to the top where the tower is, or do you want to go back down to where the caravan is? You're closer to the top. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of rest my wings a little bit and sit on Crimson's pauldron.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I'll just keep trekking.
If only you were a Galeb Dur. Okay, so yeah, you just clang, some little sparks are going up, but you just relentlessly continue to ascend, while they are back down here, Isaac's met up, so Isaac can collude with belt however they want to, but you can check on the merchant, and he'll get up at some point in time and start kind of trundling down the path as well. But you two are up, and you are by, so you're by the large door here, and it does have a lock on it that does have kind of a swirl, like a very obvious, this is a magical thing. What would you like to do now that you're standing before the door?
Should we knock? We can say that we went for help for the people who are down there.
We could do that, yeah.
I'm gonna knock on it.
Okay. Bang, bang, bang on the metal doors. Clang, clang on the door, baby. Clang, clang. There is a little thing that that opens up, but you don't see eyes. You do hear a voice, though. Who are you, and why are you here?
We need help. Our caravan was attacked.
One moment. And there's a little bit of time that passes. Very well. Stand back. You're expected. We'll send aid.
Alright, we'll back up.
I'm invisible at this point.
Okay. Crimson, are you making yourself obvious, or I don't know if you want to obscure yourself or hide behind a rock or something?
I just knocked on the door, so I'd just stand there.
Okay.
I'm invisible sitting on his pauldron.
The magic sigil goes down, and the lock unlocks, and one of the doors partially opens. Now, these are very large doors that can accept very big wagons, and, like, you know, groups of people can go in and out at the same time. One of the doors opens slightly, and 6 people dressed in the vampiric regalia of their service end up coming out. Let's have Tankerbell. I want you to make a perception for me.
A.
Okay. Maybe because it's it's morning out, and it looks kind of like dark or dim in there, like your eyes are having to adjust. I know you have dark vision, but maybe there's just something. It looks like there might be a couple people who have stayed behind inside, but you really can't make out any details or shapes or anything along those lines. But as soon as the 6 people go out, there's a as the lock and the arcane glowing begin once more, and the 6 continue down. Now, what we can do here, as it is 2:30, we can use this as a break point and have the tower breach be another adventure, if you'd like. I don't know what your schedules are looking like, but we resolved kind of getting to the tower after this ambush.
Yeah, I'm good with continuing this next week. I mean, do we know how long it'll be before we get lethality back?
He'll probably be back next week.
It could be next week. I'm not completely sure.
Okay. Well, why don't we? I don't know. It does feel like a good stopping place. I'm not sure how much more content you have ready, so I would be good with stopping here. And whenever we play the side game again, we can pick it up here. I mean, we've switched characters before, so if we end up changing characters around, maybe lethality's back or somebody else misses a session, and we can do this. I don't know.
Yep.
All right, I saved our map as side game save. So we'll what we could do is we can end here with you all having formed your party, scaled up, seeing that there's been an attack by the aberrations from over the mountain. This was a lot of fun. I hope that you all really enjoyed it.
I giggled a lot.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Then what we're gonna do is we started with some people actually coming over from Macabre Derek's channel. So why don't we, if we began with people quasi raiding us from Derek, why don't we go raid Derek in return? It looks like he's doing a spooky art stream. It is mature audience, so just, be on the lookout. We do talk about all sorts of stuff, blood and guts and gore and fighting games and rock and roll and all sorts of stuff like that. It is a lot of fun. If you've never been over, you should definitely hang out with Derek and everyone. And he might even be taking commissions. I don't know if his plate's full right now, but he'll indicate if it is or not. And if you like his work, you've seen it here. Right there, you can see he did that big composition for us for our Tuesday game. Amazing work from a really fun dude.
I did a title screen too.
And yes, and I will show that off real quick. And Coffee did our title screen and also does take commissions during your Caffeine Fix broadcasts. So please be sure, CoffeeCat presents. Go check him out. Our raid is going off very shortly, so I'll see you over in Derek's channel, everyone. Be well, and is it Tuesday yet?
Alas, no, it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.